Welcome to Nerd on Nerd with me, Jack Kempster.
And me, Liam Underwood. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about Sunday School Musical.
Yay!
So I know this is one that our listeners are excited for, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, they all know about your love for High School Musical. Will Sunday School Musical live up to that?
We'll have to keep listening to find out. First, catching up with Jack and Liam. So Jack, catch me up. What have you been up to?
Not a shit ton, Liam.
Oh, okay.
I did, to watch Sunday School Musical, I forced my friend Tom Hogan, who suggested it to us, to watch it with me. So we had a day where we ended up watching 3 Asylum films.
Okay, that sounds like a fun day.
Which is the company that make it. Oh, it was appalling. It was painful to the eyes.
Okay. Is that a little spoiler for what's to come later, or...?
Oh, no, that's specifically talking about Transmorphers and Snakes on a Train, which are the 2 other ones.
Transmorphers, I think you said you'd seen before on the last episode.
No, well, we've seen... So basically, years ago, when we discovered Asylum Cinema, it was like in Woolworths, a little shop in England that has closed down and gone online, maybe. But they used to have this little section of DVDs, and they had like a DVD bargain bin, which had Asylum films in it. Yeah. So we were like, oh man, these look awesome. Like, they're terrible. They look terrible, but they look awesomely terrible. So we ended up buying Transmorphers and doing like a movie night round mine. Yeah. And we turned off all the lights and we got excited and watched Transmorphers. And Transmorphers has this weird like design choice they made where about half the film is spent on land, which is always pitch black, and there's lightning storms constantly because, you know, the world's just so fucked up, Liam.
Oh yeah, all that pollution.
Well, robots mainly, but yes, probably pollution a little bit too. But they decided that every time lightning would strike in that film, instead of doing like a sort of soft flash and a rumble, they would... I don't know if they did it to the actual actors, and if they did, these actors can probably sue for health damage, but they flashed a blindingly white light on the screen, which on their cameras was detected as the screen just turning white for a split second.
I imagine that was a post-production effect.
I don't know. I don't know, Liam, because like, I don't think it was. Okay. Just the way it was lighting people up as well. Yeah. It looked like they were just flashing a big light at them, but then they had their camera sensors set too high or some shit. Right. Those words I don't think are actual like camera crew words.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway,
what's the point?
It blinded us, and we ended up turning the film off after about 3 people started being like, "I'm getting a headache. Do we have to keep watching this?" Right. Okay. So this was the first time I've watched Transmorphers all the way through.
And I imagine like it's probably worth watching, right?
Here's the thing, Liam. Okay. I say yes. Yeah. But Tom said no. Tom's girlfriend Frankie said no. Right. I have a weird thing for Asylum cinemas. Yeah. Like, I love them too much. Okay. So I think it is worth watching, but I don't think anyone else would agree with me.
And when you watch it, do you enjoy it because of how bad it is? Or is there like another reason why you enjoy it?
I'm not sure. I think it's hard to say because there's things like The Room, right? Yeah. Which are amazing because they're done in such a bad way, but it's like beautiful to watch, right? Yeah. Yeah. Like, and I can see that someone watching an Asylum film isn't necessarily going to think that. They're not going to come out being like, man, that was just so bad that it was good. But I think I enjoy watching the like train wreck and trying to figure out what the like crew were doing, who made certain decisions. Like, there's a thing that when we first watched Transmorphers, there was this character that they kept referring to as Sir, and she was a woman, which is fine. Like, that's a thing that happens, right? Yeah. But we all were like, this doesn't make sense. And when we rewatched it, I was interested to see whether that was just us being stupid and it being like, yeah, she's called Sir because she's in the military, deal with it. Yeah. But no, Liam, there are a number of scenes where the implication is heavily that she is a man. Right. But also there are a lot of scenes where she's definitely a woman and they are talking to her as if she's a woman. And my personal theory on that is that someone wrote a script, tried to get a male actor to do that, couldn't find someone, so hired a woman. Okay? Okay. Rewrote some of it, but not all of it. And that sounds like, Jack's being a dick and doesn't get it. But genuinely, you need to see it because it's fascinating to try and figure out whether that is an intentional decision on their part. Yeah. Maybe she has a wife and maybe she's a lesbian and is that progressive of Asylum, or whether someone just didn't rewrite the script properly. And that is... it's amazing to try and figure that out watching these films.
I have a film recommendation for you that I think you'd quite like.
Okay.
It's I might have mentioned this to you before, but it's Leprechaun 4 in Space.
Yeah, I think I've seen the first 3 with you.
Yeah, it's possible. Honestly, I know you like your space stuff, and we have a little joke about that. But genuinely, I feel like for very similar reasons to what you've just given, you would massively appreciate Leprechaun 4 in Space. It's my favourite in the series.
Oh, okay.
So, and bear in mind, the next one is Leprechaun in the Hood.
Which is the third one Leprechaun in the Hood?
No, okay, right. So
how does it go? Isn't there one that's still called like In the Hood but spelt differently?
No, right, okay. You got Leprechaun, which has Jennifer Aniston in.
Yeah.
Then you've got Leprechaun 2, which is this weird story where basically he's trying to find every 1,000 years he's allowed to get a wife, and 1,000 years ago his attempts to get a wife were foiled. So it's 1,000 years later he's trying to get a wife, and to get a wife he has to make her sneeze 3 times.
Of course.
So that's just basically the story of Leprechaun 2. Leprechaun 3. Now, obviously, you think these Leprechaun films, he wants his gold back, so you've got themes of greed, obviously.
Yeah.
Leprechaun 3, Las Vegas, just makes sense.
Of course, yeah.
Just makes sense. In that one, so each of these has a slightly different, like, mythology behind the Leprechaun.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, obviously, the second one has the whole wife thing that you didn't really know about in the first one.
Right, got you. So they expand on the mythology.
There are some inconsistencies as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In the third one, he bites someone, and they start turning into a leprechaun.
Oh, right.
Like they get really hungry for potatoes.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Oh yeah. Then 4, obviously in space.
Yeah, of course.
Which is just brilliant. Then 5 is Leprechaun in the Hood, and that is spelled, I believe, THA.
Yep.
Then you got 6, which is Leprechaun back. Then the number 2, the Hood.
Got you. Right.
So that, and then there's like there's a Leprechaun Origins, which doesn't have Warwick Davis in. So what's the point? And it's just not worth talking about because it is true. It was a WWE film.
Sorry, what?
You know how like WWE have their own like film things that they do.
Yeah.
This one had Hornswoggle playing the Leprechaun.
Oh, right.
It's awful. It truly. It didn't even need to be a Leprechaun film. It could have been any like pint-sized demon just running around in Ireland. It's only because it doesn't even look like a leprechaun. It literally just looks like a weird demon thing. It's only because in the film they referred to it as a leprechaun that if you were to watch it without knowing it was a leprechaun film, you could easily, without that one bit of dialogue, just think that was an ordinary demon thing.
Of course, right. Well, that's just insane.
Yeah. But yeah, 4 in space is brilliant. I think you'd appreciate it.
Okay, well, I will give it a watch.
Yes, please do.
Other than that, Liam,
yep.
I've not done anything.
But that still sounds like fun.
It was very fun.
On the sort of counter side of that, I've been very busy.
Ooh, what have you been doing?
I went to London, and I saw a play.
Big city.
Yeah, the big city. I chased that cheese, went to see a play.
Yeah.
The Woman in Black.
Okay, I know about The Woman in Black. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, because there was a Daniel Radcliffe film that annoyed me. I've
seen bits of that film.
Okay, I haven't seen any of it. It just annoys me.
Why?
Because you know how I feel about the BBFC in the UK, the British Board of Film Censorship.
Oh, okay. Did this film get heavily censored?
Not so much heavily censored, but to try and like capitalise on the Daniel Radcliffe Harry Potter audience, yeah, what they decided to do is make the film less intense. And to do that, they like darkened certain scenes, and I think there was a few cuts here and there, but the thing that really annoyed me was when they started meddling and darkening scenes, because to me, that's taken censorship like a step too far. I mean,
how does a darkened scene make it less intense?
I guess if there's something like spooky in the background and you darken it so you can't really see it, that's the only way I can think.
That seems more spooky to me. Like, if you can see there's something in the background, right, that's scary.
But what if they darken it so you can't see?
If you just see slight movement...
What if they darken it so much that you can't see anything, though?
Well, then that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I have the Blu-ray, but I imported it from America because I'm not dealing with the BBFC bullshit.
You want that unedited stuff.
I want to see how the director wanted me to see it, not how the studio wanted the Harry Potter fans to see it.
You should play them side by side.
Honestly, just that sort of thing makes my blood boil.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. That is ridiculous.
So yeah, Woman in Black. It was in this old theatre.
Yep.
And I actually made a bit of a discovery before we went to see it.
Are you scared? Is it something you're scared of something?
No. It's just I was talking with Kat, and she just said this explains a lot about you.
Okay.
And I think you'd like to know this as well.
I'm interested.
So long time listeners would know we've had conversations in the past about how to like delicately phrase this. Like one of us has like wiping issues after doing poops.
Well, you don't need to say one of us. Everyone knows it's you.
Yeah, like if you had to summarise that conversation we had in the past, like real quickly, how would you do that?
Liam doesn't know how to wipe his own arse.
Right. Okay. I think we figured out the root of this.
I'm very interested in how this relates to the Woman in Black.
Oh, we were discussing this beforehand because I was saying.
Oh, okay. So it's not like my mum took me to Woman in Black when I was 3.
No.
Since then, I haven't been able to wipe.
No, we were discussing beforehand, and I was saying I'm really worried that it's going to be so scary I might poo myself.
Okay.
Which got us onto this topic. Like, you know, sometimes certain smells just trigger and take you back.
Yeah.
I had that twice with the Woman in Black, and the first time we were in the bar, and just something triggered, and it took me back to when I must have been like 5 or 6, okay?
Yep.
So we're going way back here.
Yeah, this is like ancient Egyptian times.
Yeah, I was visiting a friend's house to go and play, and I needed to, do a poopy.
Oh no. Okay, go on.
Right. So I did my business, and then here's the thing, right?
Please, not, Liam. I'm really hoping this doesn't go where I think it's going, because I will be so upset for you.
Here's where it goes, Jack.
No.
At that age, I didn't really know how to wipe.
Yeah.
So, and I also didn't know my friend's mum's name.
I'm cringing so badly.
I know it now. It's Jill. Don't worry.
No, not that. I know what's happening, and I'm so it hurts me.
Yeah. So I'm sat there, not having thought this through clearly, and I'm like, what do I do? So I just yell, "Mum."
No.
So,
Liam.
yeah, Jill comes, and so do you remember like the initial issue would be that I got off the toilet and then turned around.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's what I had to do so she could help out.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Now that I think answers a lot of, because if that's how you've been like raised as this is how you do that, I think I was just copying that. So when I was finished and I was doing it by myself, I was still jumping off and turning around because that's what I used to have to do.
Yeah. We knew that was the issue. We've discovered that before.
Yeah, but
I'm just upset. I want to know if she said anything to your mum.
I think she must have done, because I think I was probably...
Liam is never coming around our house again.
Yeah.
Did you ever go around his house again?
Yeah, I annoyed her once as well, because...
Because you were 13 and you shouted "mum" from the toilet.
No, I went round, I was supposed to have a sleepover, and like my mum and Nan was also there, like having the chat, and we was like upstairs playing. And it got to the time when they were going to leave and I was supposed to stay over, and I was just bored, so I just asked if I could go back with my mum and Nan, and it really annoyed like my friend's mother, Jill, because I guess, she, I don't know, it just annoyed her. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, she found it very rude, but I was just so bored. Because the thing is, like, I remember, like, I did a couple of sleepovers where I did stay, and what I used to do is get all his books, hide them under the covers with me. She'd come to make sure he was asleep, so I'd pretend, and then when she'd gone, I'd like put a light on and just read for an hour, because she always made us go to bed way too early.
You had weird sleepovers as a kid.
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
So yeah, I just thought that, like, there was something where we were discussing that, and Kat was like, I've never heard this story before, but it just explained so many of the issues you have today.
Did Kat, like, cringe as badly as I am? Because honestly, that is a horrendously horrifying story, Liam.
I think she's used to it, is the thing. So maybe
That's
it wasn't
true.
as bad.
But then I'm used to it too.
Yeah, that's true.
But maybe
just,
I'm just...
it's one of those like memories that you maybe repress, and then something
Yeah,
triggers,
I
and
can
it
see
just...
why you would.
Yeah, it just emerges, and I'm like, wait a second, that's why I used to do the turnaround thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Does your mum listen to this podcast, Liam? No, she doesn't, does she?
Nah, she's too busy living her life.
I think we need to do like a half-hour special one day, which is just about your wiping problems, where I grill your mum on like, how this happened.
How did you raise him so wrong?
Yeah, I'm like, was there a point where you suddenly thought, I should teach Liam to wipe his own ass?
The thing is, if Bailey was on this podcast, she would 100% listen. She can't get enough of him. But just
sounds
me,
much better.
I think he has wiping problems too.
Oh.
To be honest, like, I know she's had issues in the past with him. She's had to like, what's the word? Like squeeze his anal glands.
Yeah, that's the thing you have to do with dogs. Yeah, I mean, you take it to someone. I would.
I'm pleased that it was at this point you clarified we were talking about a dog.
Yeah, sorry.
Just like any new listeners.
Bailey is Liam's mum's dog.
Yeah,
not like Liam's young brother.
So yeah, Woman in Black wasn't that scary though. I didn't really have to worry about putting myself.
I think my mum thought it was scary, but then my mum is a coward.
But I think on Twitter, everyone was being like, "Oh, it's the most terrifying experience of my life," and I was like, "Oh, wow!" Because I tweeted about going to see it and got a fair few responses like, "Oh, it's really spooky," and like, there's a couple.
Yeah, but you watch a lot of horror films.
I guess, but
you're not an easy person to scare, I would imagine.
Those ghost things do freak me out.
Yeah, but but then I've never seen a play with someone acting as a ghost, so I wonder if that detracts from it when you're like,
maybe
I can see that you're a person.
There were a couple of like good, like jumpy moments that I weren't expecting. Another really interesting thing I thought, you might disagree, but both of the plays I've seen that are based on books have made an emphasis of the point, like they've really drawn attention to it's a play. So when I went to see Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, obviously that's a book written from someone's perspective. In the play, they actually talk about how this story he's written would make a great play, and they try and convince him that they should put it on stage, sort of thing.
How do I do that in The Woman in Black?
In this one, it's someone who's written a manuscript to help basically exorcise him of this like ghost experience he's had.
Oh, okay.
And it's this guy who is like pretending to be a terrible actor, and he's got someone in to help him basically go through and almost like relive the his experience.
Okay.
It is done quite well, and it does allow for some comedy moments, but then it also, there's like a sort of twist at the end which you can just spot coming. You could probably guess the twist from what I've already said.
Yeah, well, so wait, the plot is that he is reliving the what happened.
Yeah, he's basically kind of like, his idea is to put on a performance for his friends and family, explaining what happened to him to try and get rid of these like awful memories he's got of it.
Right, got you.
And yeah, another like trigger that happened is there was a bit where they had like a smoke machine come in, and it reminded me of the nights when me and you used to go out at uni clubbing to a place called Root, and they had smoke machines, and that like smell just triggered that, and it made me miss those days. Yeah,
that's fair enough.
But yeah, Woman in Black, it was good. It was, not as good as like say Book of Mormon or Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, like a tier below those, but still, I had a good time.
I've got one question about it.
Okay.
Because I think it's something that I've heard they do.
Yeah.
Is that there's like sort of not audience interaction, but the ghost and stuff, doesn't she like appear behind the audience and stuff?
I don't know. We were up in the balcony, so I don't know if they did that in the stalls.
Oh, okay.
But it's so quiet that there was a few times where someone like dropped a drink or whatever, and I genuinely was like, is this part of the play or not? Because it was suddenly a loud bang from behind.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was good. I just wanted it to be scarier, I think.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I think it had the potential to be. There was just a couple of weird decisions they made. Like, I guess in the book, there's a dog. And it's not a like vital plot point. You could have just got rid of the dog, but instead they kind of had an imaginary dog on stage.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, didn't really work. They could have made it better. They make a whole point about how they can evoke mood and atmosphere by using sound effects.
Yeah.
But then they didn't use any sound effects for the dog, which just seemed...
That's insane, yeah.
Yeah. But that's not all I did.
What else did you do, Liam?
I also went to Brighton.
Oh.
And I saw Ricky Gervais doing his Humanity tour.
How was that?
It was good. It had Doc Brown supporting, who was disappointing, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Ricky Gervais himself, very good. I really enjoyed it. It was... there was a few things that I'd already seen, like, because I'm quite a fan of his, I watch, like, on YouTube when he goes on the American chat shows.
Yeah.
And there was a few bits that he'd already done on those, so I was like, right, I know where this is going, sort of thing. But otherwise, yeah, it was very good.
Oh, fair enough. That's good.
So busy old time for Liam.
Oh, it's just been non-stop.
One other thing that we both did is we guested on Amanda's show.
Yes.
Talking about a film that you suggested.
Yeah, we went and spoke about Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension.
Come on, the full title, please, Jack.
The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension.
Thank you. Just in case anyone wants to go and find it,
And they should.
I still, don't really know.
If you want to find out more about mine and Liam's reactions just then, Go and listen to Amanda's show.
I don't think it's out yet, but when
Probably
it is
will
out,
be by the time this is out.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Go,
maybe not.
Go find out. Amanda's great. Follow her anyway, and then
Yeah.
Listen to her show, and eventually we'll be on it.
Exactly.
So yeah, being so busy doing all those things means I haven't had much time to go to the cinema.
So what are you going to talk about in this section then, Liam?
Well, I did go once.
Okay, what did you go and see?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Which we've done a special on.
We've done a whole special on. So
what I
thought we could do, because we didn't do this in the special, is a short spoiler-free review of what we both thought of it, because we went straight into spoilers on the special.
Okay.
So if someone's maybe on the fence of seeing this film, I thought we could just do, should they go and see it, and why?
I think it's really good, and it lives up to the first movie, and you should go and see it.
Yeah, I'd say it's nearly as good as the first one.
Yeah.
4 out of 5.
Yeah, I think I gave it a 4 out of 5, did I?
Maybe, or maybe a 4.5, I don't remember.
I can't remember either. If you want my rating, go listen to the special.
I also watched a Netflix original series.
Okay.
Season 2 of Love.
You've spoken about Love on here before, haven't you?
I believe I have quite a while ago when I watched Season 1.
Yeah.
Season 2, it's still good. It's not quite as good as Season 1. So the basic premise is it's about 2 characters. One played Gillian Jacobs, who is in Community as Britta.
Yeah.
And you've got a guy called Paul Rust, who was in a film called I Love You, Beth Cooper, with Hayden Panettiere, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's co-written by him. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to toot my own horn.
Okay.
But I would consider myself a little bit better looking than Paul Rust. And I think it's pretty
I'm just
telling.
going to get up a picture of Paul Rust.
Yeah, please do.
And I'll have my own little verdict there.
Yeah. No, I'm keen to hear your verdict.
Yeah, no, I think you are.
Right, thank you. So, in Season 1, in the first episode, he gets offered a threesome with 2 sisters that he turns down because he doesn't like the fact that they're related. So
maybe he's more confident than you, though.
No, that's the whole thing. His, persona and shtick is to be pretty much like me and you.
Does he know how to wipe his own ass?
It's not touched upon yet. But, so that's what I mean. You can tell it really feels like he's gone, I'm going to write this because I really want these women to fancy me. And it would be believable if he was just at least average looking. But when he looks like that, it does take you out of it. Because these two, again, if it was 2 sisters who weren't absolutely gorgeous, Hollywood level gorgeous, it again might have a bit of believability to it. But it really does just feel like someone writing a fantasy that they want to play.
Fair, okay. Yeah.
And Gillian Jacobs is a good looking woman. So it's a bit of a tough pill to swallow that she'd fall for this guy.
Well, everything's not based on looks, Lee.
No, and that is what they do quite well, is they do kind of spend a bit of time justifying this, and she is kind of damaged in her own ways. So they are 2 very dysfunctional people getting together, and you're just watching to see how it all goes awfully wrong, basically. What the first season did is it had quite a smaller cast of supporting characters that don't quite get as much of a look in the second season, which was a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
But it was still good. I still enjoyed it, and I am looking forward to seeing where it goes in the future. So 3.5 out of 5.
Fair enough. That's all right.
Yeah, but that was all of the stuff that Liam did.
Oh, fair enough. Well, Liam, have also not been to the cinema.
Okay.
But what I have done...
You've done other stuff, right?
I have, yeah. I did more reading again.
Okay.
So in total this week, Liam, not this week, since we last recorded, I have read 5.5 books.
Okay.
So I'll do my usual, Liam. I'll group the books by their series.
It's so annoying when you do that.
Well, it's the way that makes sense, because I don't read in it's different. I feel like films, right? You watch a film, and then you finish it, and then you're like, well, I'm not watching the next one straight away. I'm going to watch that tomorrow. A lot of the time you don't watch films as a big batch. There's a gap of at least a day in between watching the sequels, right?
We were literally speaking about how I watched 3 Alien films last night.
Yeah, and you haven't reviewed Alien, so...
Well, no, because I'm not allowed to do things that I haven't seen at cinema, otherwise we'd be here for an hour.
So I have read, this week, since last episode, Liam, I read The Magicians, which is a trilogy of books.
Yeah.
Yeah, called The Magicians, The Magician King, and The Magician's Land.
Okay.
Right? These books, I went online, and the reviews for it are sort of 50-50.
Yeah.
On people either loving it,
yeah,
or people being like, the fuck is this book? It doesn't make sense. I don't like it.
Alright, now, I've got a question.
Yeah.
I love it when you give critical reviews, because you're often very much like, you'll just bum the buggery out of something if you like it. Which is fair enough, if you like it, it's great, champion it. But I love it, like the Ghost in the Shell one, where you're a bit more critical about things, because it hasn't
got
quite...
You.
Now,
so you want me to be more critical of this one?
No, I'm just saying, are we going to get a bumming review, or like a good review?
Oh, I'll tell you, Liam. We're going to get a good review. This book, oh, Jesus, these books, right? It's like someone took Harry Potter and the Chronicles of Narnia, fused them together, and was like, oh, I'm going to write these for a more adult audience than the original books, right?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And then, like, if you really enjoy watching, like, just broken people have these horrible lives where
like
nothing's going right. Sort of. There's a lot less... There's still sex in it, but there's a lot less sex in it than Game of Thrones.
Okay.
But no, I'm joking. These books are incredible. That is what they're like. But I loved that.
Yeah.
It's good because they like a lot of the issues people seem to have with this book are that the characters aren't particularly likable, which is 100% correct. Like until like the third book, you don't really start liking anyone because they're all just broken people who are sort of horrible dicks.
Yeah.
But like I haven't had for a while a book that made me like the main character, this guy called Quentin. There's this particular scene where he does something that's really stupid, and I'm talking like really stupid. Like,
is this in the first book? Sorry.
Yeah, this is in the first one.
Okay. Is it a big spoiler if you say what it is that he did?
Yeah, so I'm not going to.
Right. Okay.
But it's something that's like not stupid in like a he's going to get hurt sort of thing. Stupid in a why would you do this? Everything was going so well. Why have you made such a poor decision?
I really want to know what decision could be that poor.
I don't want to spoil it.
Okay. I'm never going to read it, but okay.
Yeah, but I don't want to spoil it to people that might, because they should.
Okay.
I'll tell you afterwards, Liam.
Yeah.
But anyway, he does that, and I just read that whole chapter and felt all this like pain for what he'd done, and then like the way they dealt with the other character who it affects.
Is it at least
reaction.
Is it at least? Can you see why he's done it from his perspective, or does it just seem really like?
Yeah, because they've made him so broken the way they have, but explained it well.
Yeah.
You can see why he makes the decision.
Oh, that's fine then, as long as it's not just like...
Oh, yeah, no, it's not. You're not reading it and being like, why the hell has he done this? I mean it in like a... You sort of want things to go well for him because everything's so bad.
Yeah.
And then when he fucks it up himself and you can only blame him, you're like, oh, Quentin, you dickhead.
Yeah. But like, I thought at first you were like, it was basically sort of where they were like, oh, we need this to happen so we can expand the plot.
Oh, no. They everything has good reasoning behind it, and like... It's one of those books where even the magic kind of makes sense. Like, they don't... You know, like, there are rules that the magic follows, and they've got to stick to those rules sort of thing. Which I like. I hate when it's just, like, Gandalf-style magic. Anyway, so these books, it like, stays like that for all three. Like, you know, they don't play the bullshit happy ending card in the books, particularly.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like when books don't feel like they have to give you super nice stuff.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I think they're well worth reading. I think they're probably 4 out of 5.
All of them?
Oh, I don't break them up, Liam. As a whole, the series is 4 out of 5.
Right, okay.
And then I read a one-off book, Liam, which is part of a series, but the series is not...
Wait. Can we just go back to the Magicians a second?
Yeah.
What if... So you're like, I don't break them up. What if someone's read, like, the first one, and they're a bit like, I thought it was okay, I don't know if I want to read the next one. Like, I feel like they wouldn't be able to tell if they should carry on with that review. Okay,
well... Here's my logic then, is I would, if say I'd read the first book, and then I wanted to read a review of what people thought of the others, so I could see whether to, I'd look at it, and if someone said, well, as a whole, the series gets 4 out of 5, and I thought the first book was like a 3, I'd go, well, if the average is 4, that means...
Then the next two must be great.
Series, and if...
But that's not like...
Liam,
come through.
Let me explain my rating system.
Yeah.
This is not let's explain the confusingness.
No,
if one of the books, if one of the books was really bad, say they weren't consistent.
Yeah, say the first was a 5 and the last was a 5, but the second was a 2.
Then that wouldn't work. But if that happened, I would say that.
Right. So I just feel like we should have made that clear for anyone listening, because I think you assume that our listeners are quite smart. Assumptions can be dangerous, Jack.
See, listeners, you always side with Liam. You always think, oh, Liam's our hero, Jack's the dickhead. He just called you all stupid.
When they're listening to you.
Whatever.
And it's because they're listening to you.
Fuck off. Liam.
Yeah?
I read another book.
Oh, tell me more.
It was called The 100,000 Kingdoms, and it's the first book in the Inheritance trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. I haven't said the other authors, don't know why I said that one.
I mean, it is an important factor that you should be getting in there, so well done.
Yep. So this book, Liam...
Yes.
...is another female lead character.
Yeah, okay.
It deals with a world where 3 gods existed.
Oh, okay. 2
of those gods one of them is dead, one of them has been enslaved by the other one.
Oh, that sounds...
And you're dealing with not the aftermath, it's been like that for a while.
Yeah,
but you're dealing with this world where... So that the people that worship that main god who's still around, they've sort of become the powerful ones, obviously, because their god is still there.
Yeah.
And they've sort of dominated the world. And you follow Yen, I believe is her name.
Okay.
As she goes to this big central city where those people live.
Yeah.
And she tries to understand. She comes from sort of a tribal city where women are in charge and she's this warrior. She gets taken to this big city where everything's different and her family there are like high up, very aristocratic people.
Of course.
And you sort of follow the political intrigues as they try and nominate the next king of their world.
So you say it's like a fantasy, but is it more like into the whole political stuff?
No, because the side plot to that is that the gods that have been enslaved are trapped in mortal form.
Yeah.
And they all live in this city, and those people use them as weapons. That's how they've dominated the world, because they have to do whatever they are told by these sort of aristocratic people.
Okay.
So there's very much a fantasy aspect in that you're talking with these god characters.
Yeah.
And finding out sort of how their world works.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, a lot of it is the sort of political side as they try and win, effectively.
Is this more, like, from the sounds of this, is a lot less action?
There is a shit ton less action, yeah.
Yeah, which I guess might put some people off, but I guess it's done in a way that you enjoyed.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
So is that because the characters are so interesting then?
Yeah. The main character is an interesting character. The 2 sort of main gods that she gets to know,
yeah,
are because it's not. That's going to sound confusing because I said only one of the gods got enslaved, and now I'm saying she knows 2 of them. But it's like there are 3 main gods, and then there's like hundreds and thousands of these gods' children who are like godlings.
Okay.
Who are also enslaved or not present in the story.
Right, got ya.
So she gets to know like 2 of them, and the relationship she has with them is like really interesting because they try and deal with the whole how does an immortal creature that lives forever how can they relate to a mortal person who's only going to be there for 60, 70 years.
Got ya. Awesome. Sounds shit. 4 out of 5?
4.5.
Wow. That shocked me. So what made that one, that 0.5 over the other 2? Or
I think the characters were more interesting as much as I connected with the characters in the other ones.
Yeah.
I think the characters in this, like, they feel more real.
Okay.
Like, you understand why everyone's doing what they're doing, and you just sort of get drawn into their world.
Very good. So you're back on the reading bandwagon at the moment?
Yep, we'll see if it continues after I finish the Inheritance trilogy.
Yeah, of course.
Trilogy. But yeah, I am, yeah.
Excellent. Very good, Jack. Well done.
Go fuck yourself.
Housekeeping. You been doing anything?
I've actually not had a lot of time since we last recorded in the evenings.
Okay. Because, because you did mention in the catching up with how busy you've been.
No, that's the thing, Liam, right? I've not been doing stuff like going out and doing fun things, which we can talk about and catching up with. But I've had stuff like BB and work.
Yeah.
So those things have made me busy.
Okay.
I'm not like you. I can't just swan off and see plays.
Right, well, you do live quite close to London.
Yeah, and I've been busy.
Yeah, so in theory, it should be easier for you to swan off and
yes,
see
and it would be, Liam, if I wasn't busy. I feel like you're missing the key part of this issue, which is that I'm busy.
Yeah, I think I think that passed me by.
You're sort of ignoring the busyness.
Yeah, I've been doing more Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, how far into it are you?
I'm up to like the last story mission.
Oh, okay.
But I've been focusing on the story, so now I've just got to kind of backtrack a bit and do some of the side quests, and I've got like a couple more of the collectibles, and like a couple of bandit camps and cauldrons to clear. But I think when I checked, I was like 65% through or so.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know, like, if that percentage also counts all of the like data points and stuff that you can scan.
Yeah, I've been assuming that it includes all the collectibles.
Yeah, well, like the data points and stuff, you don't necessarily need to have all of them to get a trophy or whatever, so I'm not that fussed about them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I reckon probably by the next time we record, I'm optimistic I would have completed it.
Okay, that's good.
To update my review from when we last discussed it in depth, what I will say is, while the story is still interesting, it's kind of annoying that more than a couple of the story missions are literally you just run to a place on the map, do some climbing and jumping, essentially watch a cutscene, and that's it.
Okay.
So it doesn't really feel like I've definitely had story missions where there's been like zero fighting, and to me it therefore just I kind of feel like, look, if you just wanted me to watch this story, just give me the cutscenes. Like, don't make me run and jump around for them. Like that element isn't like the most fun part of the game.
Yeah, you say that, but I think you'd be more annoyed if you had like 3 missions in a row where you went and spoke to someone and then a cutscene played.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I definitely would. So what I'm saying is to do these missions, but then like integrate other elements of the game into them, like the combat stuff or the stealth stuff. Like, it would have been really cool to have had a story, for example, like a story mission. And there's one that's similar to this, but not in this way at all. So there's one where you lose your weapons and armor.
Yeah.
But you're put in an arena against a big creature, and you have to basically kind of use the arena's surroundings to get the creature to knock your weapons back.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been cooler to have done like that, where you lose your weapons and armor, and then you've got a mission where you kind of have to stealth around it, because the stealth in this game is quite good. Like avoiding enemies to get your weapons back. Like, there are things they could have done that isn't just go here and watch this clip.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, but you know, it's still enjoyable. I'll keep you posted.
Cool.
We've had some correspondence.
From who?
We've actually had
who has been in contact with us.
We've had quite a lot of correspondence this week. So
why?
Strap in. I don't know. So the first one, we had a comment on concerning Sarah.mp4, a video.
Oh God, how is that getting comments?
Video on the Nerd on Nerd YouTube channel. Mark Dawes commented on it.
Right.
One word with a question mark. Sequel.
Stay tuned, Mark.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say.
Oh.
Big things in the works, maybe.
Are there?
No.
There should be.
That's the kind of thing people say to make people excited.
Oh, okay. But then they're going to be disappointed when nothing comes of it.
No, because then we'll do a Kickstarter, then we'll run away with the money and we don't have to worry about that.
Alright, cool. So we mentioned earlier, I think we did a Guardians of the Galaxy special.
Yep.
We had Kat email us for that special, but we forgot to read it during the special.
When you say we,
yeah,
do you mean we?
Yep.
I didn't know the email existed.
What do you mean?
I'm in charge of editing, Liam. You're in charge of socialising with people.
Yeah.
I'm trying very hard to dodge this bullet.
What? No. We know. So, okay, so you're in charge of editing, right? If you remember, at the end of the episode, I went, oh, fuck, we've got this email from Kat. Should we record it now and you can edit it in? And you went, nah, that's too much editing.
No, I'm not in charge of recording, Liam. I'm in charge of editing.
Yeah, and you went, that's too much editing.
Yeah, that's the bit I'm in charge of.
I was going to just skip over that, but since you tried to completely dodge the bullet, I thought, no, I'd redirect it straight at you.
Is it fair to say that you made Kat send that email?
Yeah.
And then you didn't mention it in the show?
I forgot, but I did remember it, and then when I said, shall we record a little extra bit and you can edit it in, you said, nah. So
yeah, that's true.
We'll do it now. There were some spoilers in it, so I'll cut those out. So it said, oh hi, here are my thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Really enjoyable, darker than the first one at times, but still a lot of fun. Baby Groot was super cute and funny without being annoying. Soundtrack was good, of course. Preferred songs from the first film, and felt like the first film integrated the music a bit better. Almost as good as the first one rating-wise. For Kat, the first is a 4.5 and the second is a high 4. Chris Pratt is hot. The end.
Fair. I think I agree with all those points.
Very good. Let's see, what else? Amanda tweeted us, based on last week's episode where we were talking about Train to Busan.
Okay.
And she said she really liked Liam's description of film analysis and how different people can read different things from the same film. And she also tweeted us about our Guardians episode where she said, great episode, guys. I agree with Liam that I'm ready for Peter and Gamora to kiss already. And I also agree with Jack and liked Teen Groot.
There you go.
So that's, pretty much our correspondence. We did have some recommendations. We put a ask out for some graphic novel recommendations as well, and Amanda did come back. So just to let her know, we've added them to our list. And that's it for housekeeping.
Cool.
So now I think it's time for the bit that everyone has been on the edge of their seat waiting for.
Yep, they have, Liam. We're going to talk about...
Culture swap.
Yep, swap my culture. Didn't cock that one up.
So what are we doing?
Liam, this time we watched the Faith Films movie, Sunday School Musical.
Which was recommended to us by Tom.
Yep, Tom Hogan, friend of the show.
We do have an email from him.
Should we do that now?
Well, let's do... We've got why he recommended it, and then we've got his review. So, should we do the why first and the review later?
Yeah.
So he starts this email. Hello to my favourite podcast host and the other one.
Assumedly, that's you and me.
Assumedly?
You being the favourite.
Would you say so?
No, I think I'm probably his favourite.
That's what I thought. And I was...
No, it's 100% meant to be you.
Oh, that's all right then. I'm happy with that email. Thank you, Tom. Here are my thoughts on the movie, and that's in quotation marks, Sunday School Musical. I decided to recommend this film because I know Liam likes High School the Musical, and this looks similar. I also had previous knowledge of Asylum films, and that may have influenced my choice a little. So that's why. We also had, when we posted on Twitter that this is what we were doing, we did have some people respond.
What did they say?
I'm just finding it now. Fucking Twitter is so difficult for, finding shit. Oh, no, never mind. That's not in relation to that. We had a tweet from... Well, first we had one from Tom, where we announced... I put a picture on Twitter of me holding the Sunday School Musical DVD cover.
Yep.
And I just said, this is all Tom's fault. Tagged him in it.
Yep.
And he said, oh boy. Someone else responded, Marcus, at the Marco guy, all capitals, ah ha 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 ha. I am so sorry I couldn't help it.
Yep.
And I also asked the question, because on the DVD it's got a 15 rating.
Yes. Yeah, the one you bought has a 15 rating.
I think I've figured out why.
Okay. Oh, that's good, because I wanted to figure that out with you.
I looked on the BBFC website.
Yeah.
And Sunday School Musical is a U rating. Universal, suitable for everyone.
Okay.
The only thing I can think of that would therefore cause this to be a 15 is the special features include trailers to other Asylum films.
Oh, wow. So they put their trailers in, and it bumped up the DVD to a 15.
That's the only other reason I can think of.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. So
why would they have done that? What a stupid decision on their part.
Yeah.
Oh, these guys, I love them.
So, let's get into it, shall we? Sunday School Musical.
Is it Sunday School Musical or Sunday School the Musical?
Okay, IMDb says Sunday School Musical.
Yes.
Certain posters say Sunday School Musical. My DVD cover says Sunday School the Musical.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Not
being
necessarily, not exactly consistent.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. We are going to give spoilers to Sunday School Musical. So if you're kind of you want to see it,
yeah. If this has been on your wish list,
yep. Maybe just give that a watch before you listen to the rest, because we are going to spoil. I mean, okay. So here's the story. In a nutshell, you got the main character Zachary, who is in a choir. His mum gets laid off at work, so they've got to move across town. He's got to go to a new school, and that school has a kind of a competing choir in the state. And I guess the central dilemma is, should he join this new choir? Because he's a talented guy, you know? And how will his old choir feel about such rash decisions? Meanwhile, the old choir is experiencing its own financial problems and is in risk of being shut down.
Yeah.
So
the issue with the story that you've just described there, Liam, is that sounds more interesting than the story of Sunday School Musical.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying...
True. Like, what you said is all true.
Yeah.
But you just described a better film than what they made.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if someone was curious, and that got them thinking, oh, well, fucking love Christianity, and I love choirs, I like... You know, they might be like me, they like coming-of-age stuff. Maybe I've just sold them on watching this.
If you have, I feel bad for them.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because you're not going to enjoy it.
No, here's the thing. It genuinely wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Oh, no. It's not as bad as it could have been, but it is not a good film.
No, like, if we're going to be honest, High School Musical is in a league of its own.
Well...
compared to Sunday School Musical.
Yes. But that's, I mean, if you compared two films, then yeah, they probably both would end up in a league of their own.
Yeah. I don't really know how to talk about this film, Jack, because...
Okay, well, all right, I've got a place to... Let's just start, right?
Yeah.
So, the film opens, right?
Yeah.
On a singing competition between 3 choirs.
Is that... No, that's not the open, is it? The open is this awful song about crossroads and stuff, isn't it? Or am I getting myself confused?
No, that's after, isn't it? I can't remember.
I know it I know that with him, like, walking.
No. Oh... Yeah, he walks down the street.
Yeah, and he has a little song.
Yeah, and then they go to the competition. I mean, that first song's not that important. I don't care.
It's not, but the point being, the first, 15 minutes of the film had me really worried that I would be hating all of this. Because I hated the first song, and I hated all of the stuff at the choir competition. Yeah,
the songs actually do get better as this film goes on.
Yeah.
But anyways, right, so my issue, that I'm trying to get to here, Liam.
Yeah.
Is when they're at this first choir competition.
Yeah.
It's regional.
Yes.
And there are 3 teams entered.
Yeah.
And one of those teams doesn't show up.
No, because food poisoning.
But, the idea that you would have this regional contest to see who's the best, which 2 teams get through.
Yeah.
So effectively you're just cutting 1 team.
Yeah, but so the whole point of that is, so you've got Zachary's, old choir, if you will.
Yeah,
who are really good.
Amazing.
Then you've got the other choir, who are awful.
Yeah.
And I think that competition is to show how deliberately awful they are.
Yeah, but that's a very sort of heavy-handed way of doing that.
Yeah, it is.
Because they could have made that choir not as bad as they were, because they are for a choir that suddenly becomes good later.
Yeah,
they have no talent.
I think you're being quite liberal with the word "good" there.
Yeah, well, this film's idea of good.
Yeah, that's better, I guess.
Yeah.
But.
There's also some weird scenes in there, there's an old lady who, when one of them is the person running the contest is like, oh, well, the other choir's not here yet, so we'll just wait for them. And then a little old lady in the front points at her watch and mouths the word bingo.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
And she's like, oh, well, we've got bingo after this, so actually we'll just get this choir who are here to sing next, right?
Yep.
Why was that not the plan anyway when the choir hadn't shown up? Why did it have to be in the order they were doing it in? Just go, oh, that choir's not here, so you'll go next. Yeah. If they turn up in time, you go. That's logical.
There are a few logical inconsistencies in this film. Do you know what? We could easily sit here and point them out.
That's what I want to do, Liam.
I just feel like it's a bit mean-spirited.
Why?
Because at the end of the day, I have a lot of respect for this film.
Why?
Because it's not easy to make a film. And I believe we read in a review or something when we talked about it last time that this was made in 14 days. And I have to give anyone that can turn a film around in 14 days and it to be, not great, but watchable at least. That's impressive to me. Alright, can we talk about Candice Lakota, who played Savannah?
Yes, she's...
How big is her forehead? No.
Let's not pick on the fucking actors in this film. Because, in all seriousness, these guys are people who have done, except for Crystal Connor, who played Andrea, who has been in other things, and a couple of other ones. A lot of these people had one fucking chance, and they, for some reason, burnt it on Sunday School Musical.
Do you know what it feels like to me? There's that company that did, Rebecca Black's Friday, where you go with them with a bunch of money and they just make something shit.
Yeah.
It almost feels like that's what the actors have done, but instead of music, with a movie. They're I just want to be in a movie. I don't care how good it is, and they've ended up in.
I feel like Asylum and Faith reach out to people who are just starting their acting careers, or haven't had the big shot yet, and they're like, "Look, we've got a film.
Yeah,
we're going to put you in it." And you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm starring in a film," and then it turns out it's this film, and you're like, "Oh shit."
The thing is, I do feel like the cast do kind of try. I don't feel like there's anyone in it that isn't pulling their weight.
No, there's not any particularly terrible acting.
No, there's just
there's
not any
a couple
good.
of bad things.
Yeah,
but overall, the acting isn't terrible.
Yeah, and I think genuinely a lot of the problems of this film are literally just because of the time constraints that they were working within.
But that is a start. The thing is, right? The problems with this film being that's Asylum making that decision, right?
Yeah, no, I get that, but what I'm saying is, I think that there is enough, talent and skill and stuff that if they'd have been given a little extra time, the film would have benefited from it. I
think it would have benefited, but I don't think it would have been better.
No. But I do feel like vast majority of the issues do come down to the time they had to like turn this around. So things like script inconsistencies, I'm guessing something like this, they're probably writing the script as they're making it.
Yeah, I can't even imagine there's a script.
Well, I imagine there's a rough outline.
Yeah, they all turn up on the first day and the guy goes, you're in a choir contest, figure it out.
Yeah. And they're like, well, why can't we wait for the other team? And he goes, well, this lady here wants to play bingo.
She goes, I get a line.
Yeah, I feel like it is that kind of like spontaneity with decision making that you don't really want in a good film, because good films require an awful lot of planning.
Yeah.
So honestly, when Candice Lakota started singing in that opening choir sequence, and they're being very deliberately awful,
yeah,
it's quite clear she's supposed to be like your female lead, and I was like, oh Jesus, this is going to be a painful watch. But by the end, I was 100% rooting for her and Zach to get together.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I was on board with the Savannah character until there was a specific bit, where they sort of like, because the like character choices they'd made with her were like the character that she's portraying is like this sort of nice girl who's got some of her own problems. Like, you find out her mum's dead.
Yeah, and there was a bit of time when I was like, are they actually going to go and kill the mum, or is she just like divorced? It's not. There was a moment where it wasn't too clear until it becomes very clear. Yeah. They very specifically like say, oh, mum's dead. Yeah.
But like, so like all these choices they're making for this character, like, she's not an interesting character, but she is a character.
I feel like you could say that about all of them.
Yeah, true. But then you meet her dad, who's Pastor Joe.
He was really awful. Like, considering
he's like my favourite character in this film.
Why?
That's because I love what they decided to do with him.
Pastor Joe.
He's just like, I don't understand.
The thing is,
they make him like this really. His whole thing is he's just sort of like super nice about everything.
Yeah, and normally in films like this, you kind of expect the kid actors to not be great, and it's always a bit of a relief when the adult actors come along, because you're like, okay, cool, they know what they're doing.
He didn't.
No, he didn't. I did not get that impression from Mark Hengst.
But there's a specific bit which involves him where you've had all this nice stuff with Savannah.
Yeah.
And then she's in her room crying about something or upset. I can't remember what she's upset about.
She's frustrated, I think. I don't know why, but is it when she's studying?
Yeah, I think it's just stress.
Yeah, and also having a dead mum.
Yeah, but then like she calls Pastor Joe, her father, to her room.
Yeah.
And then when he comes to her room, she just gets very angry at him and tells him to leave.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, oh, Savannah's kind of a dickhead.
No, she's a teenager.
Yeah, no, but you're blindsided. You're not blindsided. You're just blind to teenage characters because your assumption is anyone below the age of 18? Maybe 19?
No, probably 21.
Anyone below the age of 21, you just immediately think they're dicks, no matter what.
Yeah, because
so when one of those characters is nice and then becomes a dick, you're like, oh, they're a teenager.
They don't understand the precious gift of youth that they're just wasting.
But my point is, they make this character like this sort of nice character.
Yeah.
And then have her just sort of be a dick to her dad.
Yeah, but her dad was a bit of a wet blanket.
Yeah, but that's not what she's angry about.
No, I know, but I put it this way. I was happy when she got rid of him because I was just sick of seeing him on the screen.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah, like I genuinely, I liked her. And I did like the chemistry she had with Chris Chapman, who played Zachary. Because they do start off a bit like hostile towards each other, and then over the course of the film, those things break down. Also quite progressive, I feel. Like, definitely something that you don't get in High School Musical is to have like an interracial like relationship. Okay, that brings up an issue that I have with this film. Yeah. I don't know if it's actually an issue that's in the film. Okay. But to me, right? Yeah. There was definitely a sort of weird, almost like racial like element to this film. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Okay, I read another review that pointed this out, which was basically, if I'm following you down the right path here, they were saying it's very bad / racist that all of the characters from the like urban side of town, which is where the first choir is, are a lot more talented than all of the Caucasian characters from the, I guess, like richer east side of town. Yeah, it's not even just that though. It's the fact that like the rich posh school is just white people. Yeah, until Zachary shows up. Really? Are you telling me that there's not
anyone of any ethnic people in this school.
Yeah.
And why is Zach not like, Jesus, you guys have a problem?
Yeah, no, I think that's a valid kind of thing to point out. As I think it's valid in that it's a problem.
Yeah.
Again, a part of me does wonder, is that just down to they couldn't get a very wide cast? Like, I'm not trying to defend the film.
No, yeah.
But I'm just wondering, like, are there logistical reasons behind it that kind of got in the way of the creativeness? I mean, I'm using that word loosely.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was just a thing that I sort of noticed and was like, is this weird and sort of not okay?
Yeah. There was one character that truly did annoy me, and I don't know if she was supposed to.
Okay.
But Crystal Connor, who played Andrea.
Yeah.
Is she supposed to be a bitch?
I think they were trying... I don't think they were trying to make her just seem like a dick. I think they were trying to make her points valid.
Yeah, but so
they're not.
You have the first, I think, passable song, and it's like it's between her and Zachary, and
In Your Shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's where he's telling her, "Oh, I've got to move town," and all she cares about is, "Well, what does that mean for the choir? I can't believe you're abandoning us." And it's like, look, love, cool it, pump those brakes. He can't help the fact that his mum's been laid off and his dad's away in the army. It's not his fault.
Yeah. She's 100% in that scene, and for most of the film, completely a dick to Zach.
Yeah.
But the bit that, like, they make a point of, because they're like, oh, Zach's moving across the town, he can't get there. Yeah. And he very specifically says it's a 40-minute journey.
Yeah.
He proceeds to make that journey a number of times in this film.
He does.
And I was a bit like, me and Tom both said, we were like, well, if that's such an issue, he's doing it quite a lot, and it doesn't seem like it's that bad. Maybe he should have just stayed in the first choir.
I guess, yeah. They had a rooftop set that they did quite like to go back to. Again, not trying to defend the film, but I guess you could sort of say, well, they are clearly, like, he's had to move in with his aunt. They clearly don't have a lot of expendable cash. So, public transport to travel to the other side of town, maybe he could only do it, like, the amount of times we see in the film, but he couldn't have done it anymore. Because it would just cost
possibly
money, potentially. I just really feel like, considering Andrea, and there's an Asian guy, and I don't know, is it Trevor?
Possibly.
I don't know what his name is, but they're supposed to be like his buddies, right? Because
they seem to be portrayed as his, like, BFFs.
Yeah. And they both just turn on him very quickly.
Yes.
Through a fault that is entirely out of his own hands.
Yep, 100%.
Which, it's just, they're not good friends.
No, not at all. They were just using him for his singing and dancing.
Can I also point out one of the scenes that really made me cringe? When they're walking back from choir and they're doing, like, an impromptu rap thing.
Yep.
And it's a bit like I think it's on Jimmy Fallon, where he'll, like, have a word and he tries to get, like, I think they had Lin-Manuel Miranda on there, and it's like freestyle rap and they picked out words. Amazing when Lin-Manuel Miranda does it. Not so good when Sunday School Musical has a pop doing a rap that includes the word manhole.
Did he even say manhole in his rap?
I think he did.
Did he? Okay.
I think he did.
Because I wasn't sure. I couldn't tell. And at the end I was like, did he play the game properly?
I think he did, yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember what word he gives her to try and do.
Yeah, but she does not do well.
No, she doesn't. But
which is another weird, like, bit of character development. They sort of establish Andrea can't rap, which never comes up in the film as a plot point.
No. Maybe they were just trying to break racial stereotypes.
Oh, God. Was there, Liam?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Was there anything in this film
that
was good?
Yeah.
Okay. Lay it out for me.
It's easy. I can tell you now. Miles was brilliant.
Yep, fair.
Robert Akinapura?
Yeah.
Akinapura, something like that. I'm sure he'll let his people get in touch if we've got that wrong.
Yep.
No, I genuinely thought Miles was like, really good. He was given a difficult role. I guess he was supposed to be sort of like the Sharpay of this film. To do it in, like, High School Musical terms. But, he's not like a rich, spoiled kid in that extent. He's just, like... I thought he was a very believable character in that he kind of saw himself as, like, the head of his choir and didn't really like having clearly someone more talented than him be introduced to it.
Yeah.
And I think my favourite song is the one between him and Savannah, You're Not the Boss.
It just started playing in my head, yeah.
Which, that is one of the songs that I actually think does have some good choreography in it.
It has some good choreography, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
There are some interesting, not ideal one.
Yeah. But yeah, that was one of the songs that I did really enjoy, and I did quite like his character arc.
Yeah, does he redeem himself at the end? Does he have?
Yeah. He welcomes the others in, and there's a scene where he's pretending he's going to be all like bullshitty to them, and he like taps them on the shoulder, and they all have a big laugh.
Oh right, yeah.
That's his character redemption.
Oh, good.
He touched them. I have to admit,
yeah,
like while I am a godless heathen, and I didn't particularly appreciate the Christianity.
Did this film help you find Jesus?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
But I will say I didn't think they pushed the God agenda as much as I was worrying they would before I watched it.
No, well, my sort of pet theory on it is that this Faith Films company isn't really... Then I feel like they're not made up of a bunch of, hardcore Christians trying to sell Christian films. I think it's probably more like they see a market for these sort of Christian tapes.
They go, that's a group of gullible people. Let's make movies.
Probably not that, Liam.
Oh, what? Sorry?
You're not gullible if you believe in God.
Okay.
I mean, here's my issue with that, Liam, is when atheists try and push... I'm not
atheist
at all. What are you?
Agnostic.
Okay, so am I.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. There's no point dissing other people's religions. People can believe what they want. Don't affect us.
No, they can, but I can also think they're gullible for believing that. Well, I can still think they are.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, like, to me, it would make sense, right? Having that attitude behind, like, if you think of the way Asylum approaches things, 100% I feel like that would be the way they would approach setting up this Faith Film Company thing. Going, what? Because if you think their other, like, mockbusters is, well, we're going to get the older generation who are a bit gullible and won't do their research, so they'll buy into this thing thinking it's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You could then apply that same logic to, well, this is a group of gullible people that are going to just lap up this religious stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think it's... I think that the way you're phrasing it doesn't sound right. Because I think what it is more... from what we know...
Yeah.
Or from what I've seen of, like, the American sort of stricter Christian cultures...
Yeah.
Right? I think it's more like parents who are like, well, I'm not letting my kid watch High School Musical.
Yeah, there's too much sex and violence in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like there's probably a market of people like that
Yeah.
who then see something like Sunday School Musical and go, oh, this is the Christian version, I'll buy that. I think that's who they're targeting.
I just will not let my child watch the special features and the trailers.
Yeah, I won't buy the 15 version.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get that.
See what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I think the way you phrased it sounded very...
obviously I'm jesting. If we have listeners who are into God and stuff, I'm actually a bit envious, to be honest. Like, I wish I could believe in it, because I do feel like it must give you a lot of peace. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. I'm just going to let you go on this weird religion tangent.
No, genuinely, I am envious, because I wish I could get behind that idea. Like, to me, it's terrifying. Like, genuinely, like, keeps me up at night. The thought of when I die, that's it. It's nothing. It's just done. I 100% wish I could get behind the, like, yeah, God's a friend of mine, and when I'm dead, I'm off to heaven, and the good times keep coming sort of thing.
Okay.
So, if anyone listening is religious, I wanted to know that my feelings towards that do come from a place of envy.
Okay.
Margaret, played by Amy Ganser.
Yes. Interesting character.
Little shy girl, doesn't like to sing very much.
Yep.
At some point, has a makeover in the big finale.
Yeah.
Nothing's made of it.
No.
I thought it was going to be a plot point. I wondered if it was like a cut scene, and then I thought, to be honest, they probably aren't filming extra scenes to cut. So
no, that's true.
I also wonder, potentially, is this something that they wanted to do but ran out of time?
I feel like it was them trying to use the sort of trope of the nerdy shy girl
getting a makeover,
having the makeover and becoming popular sort of thing.
It annoys me that trope is basically take your glasses off, slap some makeup on, we'll do your hair.
Oh yeah, no, it's fucking ridiculous and offensive.
Offensive to who?
To nerds and shy people. Like, because there's a whole segment of the population who are that, and that message, when they put on the makeup and take off the glasses and they look like the traditional hot person, right?
Oh, yeah,
that's offensive to me, in that I'm like, you can be an attractive
all the makeup
girl
in the
who
world
wears
ain't helping
glasses.
you, Jack.
No, that's not what I'm saying, Liam. I'm saying it's offensive in that it implies that there is this like standard of beauty that people have to achieve, right?
Yeah.
I think you can be an attractive person without having to conform to that traditional Hollywood attractive girl.
Yeah. It's harder.
So that annoys me. It also is lazy in this film.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just them being like, look, she's changed.
Yeah. I did like her, though.
Yeah, I mean, the character doesn't say much.
No, but I really like the scene where so Zachary goes to the new choir and they're all down on their luck and they're like, oh man, we're just not good enough. We're not going to win. We need some talent. And Savannah sort of like sweet talks Zachary into coming to help, and he kind of helps them like loosen up a bit. And there's a song which I can't remember the name of.
No, I know what song you mean though.
Yeah. Is it Better With You, or is that like the end one? That's the end one, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know, to be honest, but there was definitely a song. Or is it All Over Me?
I've got no idea, Liam.
I think whatever. He basically helps them learn how to be talented.
Yeah, which it turns out they sort of were all along.
Yeah, and there's a really good scene where Margaret's got like some maracas or something, and she's just shaking them and loving life. So, also, we've got to talk about Charlie.
Which one's Charlie?
Charlie's the one with the secret harmonica.
Oh, of course.
Just bust that out. Plays a little tune.
As you do. He's just done a hard bit of practice in choir.
Yeah. I mean,
busts out his harmonica, has a little play.
I think we've all been there where we took our harmonica to school.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, here's the thing, right? There's definitely another film that could be made called We're Not Part of the Choir, Sunday School Musical.
Yeah. Is that where all the extras just avoid eye contact with the camera, the cast, and everything whenever there's a song and dance number?
No, it's where the real popular kids in the school
right
get together and are like, what are the choir doing? Why are they doing this? Why does that kid bring a harmonica in?
Yeah.
Not even like bullyingly, just another group
confused.
of people being like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I get that. The school did seem to have quite a small population.
It has, about 10 people.
Yeah, if that.
Including the choir.
Yeah, and the teachers.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Of which there's one.
And it's their Bible studies teacher.
Yeah, of course.
There's the home ec teacher as well.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Was it a guy?
Yeah, it was a guy.
Oh, I can't remember.
Again, progressive.
Oh, yeah, very good.
No, this movie does have elements that can be seen as progressive.
Oh, sure.
A lot of, like, egg cracking.
Yeah, and sort of just generally weird things with egg cracking and...
Well, that was clearly right. So, okay, let's put on our Jason and Lee hats and look deeper into this. I think you could say that the egg cracking was to symbolise the sexual tension between them and how... so Savannah is clearly a virgin, right? So her egg is intact. And Zachary, that's a bit more ambiguous, you know? He is Christian, but he's also come from the rough side of town. And he clearly wants to crack her egg.
I don't think Jason and Lee would have read that from that film.
I don't think anyone would have, to be honest.
No!
But, I mean... it's one reading you could have.
No, I think they were all good Christian kids. They were all virgins.
They do have a kiss at the end, which was a bit like...
risque.
I was sort of flustered.
They aren't even married, Liam.
I know, and... kissing.
That would have been such a good ending if instead of a final kiss, he'd proposed.
That would have been brilliant. Or not even proposed, like a promise ring.
Yeah.
That would have been very fitting.
Oh, I'd have been so on board.
And that's one of the key things, I think, that makes watching this film fun, is it's very easy to spot room for improvements.
Yeah.
I
mean, most of the film is a room for improvement.
Yeah, exactly. And I think maybe that's the angle we should have took at the beginning. Instead of going down the bullying route, we should have gone, how could we improve this film?
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe if we ever do another Asylum film at some point, maybe, side project, who knows?
Who knows?
We could take a different approach. I did like the song... Okay, so here's huge spoilers. So cover your ears if you're worried. It gets to a point where Zach and Savannah decide to unite the new choir with the old choir. Because the old choir lose their church. They can't afford it anymore. There's $10,000 prize dollars money riding on this state championship.
Yeah.
And obviously they wanted to enter it to get that money to help support the church. Which at one point, they do mention that to like the lady that owns the church, I guess. And she's like, nah, that won't be enough. It would help a little bit, but it won't be enough.
It's also... No, but she also specifically says early on that the amount of money they need is 10,000.
Yeah. But when they're like, what if we got this prize money? I definitely recall her saying, nah, it will help for a little bit, but it won't be enough.
Yeah, true. Yeah, she does.
Zachary and Savannah decide to join choirs in this like radical move. They're like, we'll get all the talent from the urban choir into our choir,
Yeah, do you remember which choir's called what? Because it's Crossroads
There's
and something
Crossroads,
else.
and I don't know what the other one's called.
Yeah. Sorry, Karen.
It's quite a boring name if I.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We should have made more notes.
Oh, 100%.
But I was just kind of watching it in a way like I started watching it in a way that was like, this is going to be awful, and by the end was like, it's not bad. Like the next day, I'm not going to lie, I was watching some of the songs on YouTube, which I think is a sign of a good musical.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
So yeah, I did like the song where they united. Again, though, you had Andrea just being a bitch.
Yeah, is that when she's like they've accepted, and then she's still like
she's still being a bitch? Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like throwing her toys out the pram, and I really hated her as a character.
Yeah,
I don't think I was supposed to.
No. I think you were meant to be like, poor Andrea.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was the way, if that was an actress choice or a script choice.
No, I feel like it was probably poor script writing.
Okay. What did you think about the big finale then? So you've got our new super choir, right?
Yeah.
Who are competing. And there's another choir who have won for the last however many years running.
Just, so many, Liam.
So many.
And they're like the cool choir.
Are they, though?
They're the talk of the town, Liam.
They are, but they also looked a bit like... No, I don't think I'm allowed to say that. Never mind.
Okay. So my problem with that bit...
Yeah.
...is they do the whole, like... Because that choir betrays the Crossroads and whatever.
Which isn't very Christian.
No, not at all. Also, here's an issue. I know I've been very good about not being nitpicky, Liam, since you complained.
Yeah.
Right? But I am going to nitpick this, because it's ridiculous.
Okay.
Right? Basically, that sort of villain choir says, I don't know if you knew, to the organisers. They say, we're not sure if you realised, but that's actually two choirs.
Yeah.
And the officials have a little discussion and then go to Crossroads and whatever and say, actually, you can't compete because you're two choirs. Right?
Yeah.
When they entered as the two choirs, which we know they did because they went and picked up their thing at the beginning and they said the name of their choir, which is two names.
Yeah.
They could have, at some point in that process, an official should have gone, I think these are the two choirs that were meant to be coming up from regionals.
Not only that, but they also make a big point about the fact that Margaret has read the entire rule book and there is nowhere that says that you can't do that. So for them to start making rules up on the fly, I feel they should have gone, fuck, okay, next year we'll definitely add that to the rule book, you can't do that, but this year we're going to have to let that slide because...
Yeah, because it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt very bullshitty.
Yeah, I think it was just, they were like, we need to amp the drama.
Why write in the line of Margaret reading the rules?
Yeah, exactly. Or even just like cut that scene. If you then later on decide, oh wait, this
actually,
is you cut that scene.
So weird.
Yeah.
But also it wasn't so that the like actual like film problems with that bit, right? It was all a bit bullshitty with the because they basically get told they say to the judges, look, we don't want to compete to win.
Yeah, we just want to perform.
Yeah, we just fucking love singing so much.
We love Jesus and God so much that we have to show that love in a public space so Jesus and God can watch us.
Exactly. So they get to compete and they get told, well, look, you can do it, but you're not going to win. You won't win. We're not going to even consider you for winning and getting the money, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they sing a beautiful song and the villain choir are so moved by the music.
Oh, yeah,
that when they win, they're like, you know what?
You're the real winners today.
You're the real winners. But they don't get the prize money still.
No, I thought they did give them the money.
Did they give them the money as well?
Yeah, because then they give the money to the lady that owns the church, and she's like, suddenly...
Oh, you're right, yeah. Sorry,
suddenly she's done a U-turn, and she's like, this is enough to keep the church open. You've saved the church.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're right.
And now, I wouldn't put someone...
Why did the villain choir report him in the first place?
Yeah, the other thing is, I wouldn't put someone who is clearly that irresponsible with finances in charge of running a church.
Oh, no, 100% no.
But yeah, back to the villain choir.
Yeah.
Again, it felt like they were trying to amp the drama, but you could see how it was going to end, like a mile away.
Yep.
I've decided, Jack, I've had a change of heart. I want to have like a nitpicky amnesty where you go in and you do your nitpickings, because I'm just curious what you've found.
Well, it was the stuff I said about the villain choir.
Is it? No, but
what do you mean
for the
overall?
whole film? The whole film.
Oh, the whole film?
Yeah. I just want, like, if we could just do like you just reel through the list of nitpicks.
I don't have a list.
Oh, I thought you did.
No! It was just little things here and there that were very confusing. Well, okay, the Bible studies teacher.
Yeah.
She looks a lot like the lady that points out bingo, to the point where me and Tom genuinely spent half the film being like, why is the bingo lady in charge of the choir, and also why was she trying to get the thing to wrap up?
No, but I guess right, you're teaching Bible studies. It would make sense that you go to church.
Yeah, but why bingo?
She fucking loves bingo, Jack.
All right, fair enough. The way Zachary sort of turns his grades round and passes.
Well, that's with Savannah's help.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
She probably teaches him
that
that little rhyme that her dad taught her, so it all ties in.
Yeah, true. Other things. Zachary's brother and the dance scene. What's that about? Don't need that.
Yeah,
Didn't care.
What was that? I thought that would come back at some point. It doesn't.
Yeah, no, not at all. Just one-off scene. Zachary teaches his younger brother to do a pop and lock move.
Yeah.
And then the family laugh.
Yeah.
Why did Zachary's dad come back at the end? What was that about?
I think, again...
Where are they going to live? Are they all living in the aunt's house?
Yes.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions. But again, I think that's where we look at this in a different light, where we say, well, these are all rooms for improvement.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I think what would have been a more powerful ending, right, is Zach's dad does come back, but only Zach can see him.
He's a ghost!
He's died at war. And,
man. That would have been so good.
And because Zach was such a good singer and dancer,
his dad came back.
God was like, I'll let you see your dad before I have him.
Oh, that would have been... Or imagine that scene at the end. Zachary runs up to his mum and he's like, oh, I saw Dad. Dad was watching. Where is he?
And she's like, she's dead. I just found out
she's
this morning.
Dead?
He's dead.
Oh, sorry.
Just found out this morning. He's gone.
Yeah, so that's improvement number 1. Dead ghost dad. Improvement number 2. Andrea dies.
Oh, wait a second. Back to Dead Ghost Dad.
Yep,
that needs to be a sequel.
Called Sunday School the Musical, Dead Ghost Dad.
Yeah, where basically Zachary's really struggling with his faith. Like, a bit like what Savannah. He's like, I don't understand why my dad would be taken.
Yeah.
And it's basically a buddy movie between him and his dead ghost dad, who comes back to try and help him through the grieving process.
Can they go on a road trip?
Yeah.
Good, I'm in.
So back to Andrea needs to die. I think that's a bit harsh.
Well, no, I think Savannah, we had that little glimpse of her being a little bit more angry than she's letting on.
Yeah.
She snaps, kills Andrea, gets sent to prison.
No, I like Savannah.
Zachary's already given her the promise ring, though. What's he going to do?
He's got to wait.
Exactly.
But Savannah, maybe in prison, she finds that she likes the more kebabby meat.
Yeah, exactly, Liam. Also, let's pretend that last bit, we're not having that in the next movie.
Which bit?
Because the Savannah getting sent to prison.
Okay, yeah.
Because actually, I would much prefer, and this is something that I really wanted to happen, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Miles and Savannah. They
turn out to be related, brother and sister?
No, they get married.
Right, okay.
Become Mavanna or Siles.
Yeah.
And the second film deals with Zachary still trying to get with Savannah. That helps with his faith judgment stuff, because he's like, oh, I know that's wrong in the eyes of God.
Yeah.
But he still wants Savannah.
I've had an idea.
Go on.
In the second film.
Yep.
So we do this. So Savannah and Miles get together, right?
Yep.
But Savannah's like, she's still burning a bit of a torch for Zachary. He's that bad boy. He's the one that you shouldn't be with, and like Miles is 100% the safe choice.
Yeah.
But Zachary, he's got something that she just can't quite get out of her head. So obviously, her and Miles are married, so they're having the sex, right?
Yep.
And God's okay with that. But what he doesn't see is when Zachary pops it in the bum.
Sorry. Whose bum?
Huh?
Whose bum?
Savannah's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. Oh, well, or we could go down the Miles route.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like there's enough seeds of doubt in this film that Miles could be dealing with those sort of demons.
Yeah.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think is Christianity, like, I know it's a lot more liberal now, but traditionally quite a conservative view on homosexuality.
It depends on what branches of Christianity you're looking at. There's a lot, because I don't know, because you don't know much about Christianity.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's like loads of different branches, like all these, they're called denominations.
Yeah.
And they all have different beliefs of what's okay and what's not okay.
Got ya. But so like, is it feasible that like Miles, if he was like in the closet, the religion
if they're in the
aspect,
American South,
yeah,
then there's a lot of branches that are very anti homosexuality because they're backwards and fucking stupid.
Yeah. Okay. So that could be an interesting plot point for the next one.
Yeah, I think our second film is going to be so much better than this first film.
What would we call it though?
Sunday School the Musical 2, Dead Dad. What do we call it? Dead Dad.
Dead Ghost
Dad.
Yeah.
Dead Ghost Dad.
Okay.
Or GDG for short.
Yeah, I guess.
STM:DGD.
Okay. I'm just checking something. I was just seeing if High School Musical 2 had like a subtitle.
Oh, that's good. That's good. True.
But it doesn't. It's just High School Musical 2. I know the third one is Senior Year, so if we ever manage to make this into a trilogy, we're good.
Sorted. So, Asylum, hire us.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm between you and me, Jack. I don't think in 2 weeks we could do a film better than this. But fuck it, we'll try.
Hell yeah.
Get the cast back.
We're getting the cast back together. Oh, we could make a documentary film about us making Sunday School the Musical 2, Dead Goes Dad, where we go and get the cast to come back.
We'd have to write some songs.
Yeah, oh yeah, the musical, it's the documentary itself is also a musical.
Yeah, of course. No, honestly though, I know we've had fun talking about this film, and I know we've been very careful not to be too mean-spirited.
Yeah.
Which I know, maybe I came across sounded like a bit of a dick with that, but I didn't want to just have us bullying.
No, I get your point.
Yeah.
I still like to make a couple of nitpicky points here and there.
Yeah, I think we've done that.
Yeah.
But this was better than I was anticipating.
No, 100%. I went into this film thinking I was going to hate it completely.
Yeah, because you weren't like the hugest fan of High School Musical either.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'm not like I don't have the love for it that you have.
No. I'd like to do Tom's review now, if that's all right.
Yes, go for
it. So Tom's review, I can describe it in 3 words: Jesus, eggs, shit. Knowing about Asylum films and their extensive list of movies, I kind of knew what to expect going in. I too read the review that mentioned it was filmed in 14 days, and by God it shows. My biggest criticism is that the songs felt like they were just normal parts of the script, but sung instead of spoken. I imagine that the movie would be an accurate representation of having that brain aneurysm in the one episode of Scrubs where they are singing and all that. There were unnecessary plot points, like the bubblegum crap and the egg cracking bullshit, as well as unexpected actions like why Zack and that girl, I didn't care enough to remember her name, found common ground way before the movie showed them actually establishing common ground. The redeeming feature to this movie is that if you watch Transmorphers and Snakes on a Train in the same day, it looks like a bloody Oscar winner. Lots of love, Tom, aka, and then he's pimped out his Twitter handle here, at the Tomothy.
He's not wrong.
No, the bubblegum thing is something that wasn't necessary.
No, yeah, it comes up. It's basically that her mum her dad tells her.
Yeah, that her
when her mum was feeling stressed.
Her dead mum
would get a piece of bubblegum.
Yeah.
Put it in her mouth.
Yeah.
Chew on it.
Yeah.
And she'd blow a big old bubble.
Yeah.
And she'd put all of the problems in the bubble, and then she said a little prayer, and I can't remember what the prayer is.
No, I've just realised what the third film would be called.
Go on.
Sunday School Musical, confessional.
Oh, good. That is good.
Yeah.
Nice one, Liam.
Thank you. So I did have a question as well. Obviously, you've got more of a religious background than I have. What sort of religious messages was this film? Because there was a lot of like hymns and stuff, and I wondered, were they specifically chosen to like reinforce parts of the plot, or did they just seem like willy-nilly chosen?
No, yeah, I didn't think so with the hymns. I think it was just because the hymns tended to be sung in like to show that the main choir, the bad choir, were like trying to be a bit too strict in their interpretation.
Okay.
Because like the new choir's like, oh, we're going to sing a hymn, but we're going to sing it and we're going to clap.
Oh, radical.
Genuinely, side note, in the credits, one of the guys who does, he came up in a couple of the credits for the other Asylum films, so he's clearly sort of associated with them. But his like role on the film was like keyboard, something else, and then claps.
Wow.
And I think it's fucking amazing to be credited for the claps.
Yeah, definitely. It's almost a shame that he's not solely credited for the claps.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have been more amazing.
That's what he came on. They went, look, this.
These guys can't clap right.
And he went, wait, how are they doing it? They just going, and they went, yeah, just 3 standard claps. And he went, what about a?
Whoa.
Oh, offbeat clap. Very good.
Well, Zachary, come here, make some notes. And he goes like, my name's Chris. I'm like, shut up, Zachary.
Zachary, stop.
This is
Where's
method
Savannah?
acting. You're in character for the whole 14-day shoot.
Someone bring Miles here.
Okay.
Did we get anything else from people about this film? No. Yes.
Not really. Like so Tom did link us to like another review.
Yeah.
Which I did skim read it, but again it was kind of saying what we're saying.
Yeah.
Essentially, I think Because I didn't want to read like other reviews too much and have my opinion then like shaped by them.
No, yes, I didn't read any reviews.
Yeah, I very much want this to be our thoughts, uncensored.
Just pure nerd on nerd.
Yeah, exactly. Out of 5, Jack. I know this is going to be hard, because how do you rate a film like this?
Yeah, because the thing is, right, I want to give it a 1.
That's me. That is me.
But, right, I feel like I should give it a 2. But then if I look at other things that I've given 2s before,
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like this is worse than them.
Okay. So maybe
like
in
all
1.
seriousness,
5?
I didn't... Yeah, maybe. I think that might be it.
Yeah.
But like that feels low, but like when you compare this to a good film,
yeah,
that's about right.
But can you compare this to a good film?
I mean, it has to be on the same scale though, right?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Like, out of fairness, it has to be on that this is a film that was released to the world. I have to rate it on that scale.
Yeah.
So I think it's a 1.5.
Okay. I was a little bit more favourable. I'll give it a 2 out of 5.
Okay, that's I can see why.
Yeah, like it's only because I didn't hate like there's more than like 3 songs that I quite liked, and it is a hard like getting through the first 15 minutes is difficult.
Yeah,
but it does get better.
That's true. It does.
You know, I think as well like you just have to kind of lower your tolerance levels to this sort of thing.
Yeah, if you go in expecting a good musical that you're going to love, you're wrong.
Yeah, if you expect another High School Musical, no.
Yeah.
This High School Musical is in a league of its own.
Sure.
But genuinely, I would like to thank Tom for recommending this, because I probably wouldn't have watched it otherwise, and I am pleased I've watched it.
Yeah. Good job, Tom.
Indeed. So that was that, and I had fun.
Very good, Liam. What, Liam,
Yeah.
are we doing next time?
Alright, so we went to Twitter, we asked for some graphic novel recommendations. Amanda came back, she said Bitch Planet, which I've previously read. I have a little running joke with that, where I go into a comic book shop with Kat, I point to it, and then I quite lightly say, look, that's where you're from, and she hits me.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Doesn't surprise me.
She recommended Blankets, and she recommended Black Hole, and I fed you those recommendations, and you went, nah, and now we're doing Saga Volume 1.
Let's be fair, you fed me those recommendations, and I said, oh, what are they about? And I looked it up.
Yeah, well, that was where you went wrong.
But the thing is, Liam...
No, that's where you went wrong. That was your first mistake.
I mean, it's not a mistake, because it means that I don't have to read them yet.
Yeah.
Which we will.
But now
soon.
you're going to put them off.
No, they're very clearly Liam-type things.
Well, that's why I'm the favourite host.
Sure.
But no, I've tried to read Saga before, and I'll be honest.
I mean, Saga's been on our list for a while.
Yeah, I tried to read it, and I couldn't get into it. But I actually had the first 2 volumes, because I was expecting to like it, because I've heard so much good stuff.
Yeah.
So I do need a reason to just sit down and get through the first volume.
Yeah, so there you go.
So I am looking forward to it, but I am also worried that we are going to have a huge falling out.
I don't know if we will.
Well, you like this, right?
I remember liking it, yeah.
So if I come along and I'm like, meh, meh, meh.
How is that any different to what we usually do?
Normally it's you that's going like, meh, meh, meh.
That is not true.
And I have a lot more patience
and
tolerance. And...
Sorry, what are you talking about?
Alright, so here's how it normally goes, Jack. It'll go one of 2 ways. So we watch something, we talk about it, and scenario A would be Jack goes, meh, 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 and I'm like, oh, alright, Jack, why do you feel this way? Yeah, I just do. Alright, well, anything else? Meh, 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 meh. Okay, thank you, Jack. And, you know, so that's how, like, Mumblecore, Before Sunsets and Sunrises, all that sort of stuff.
Sorry, so that's 2 films, yeah.
Yeah, and other things.
What, yeah?
Yeah.
What ones? Just remind me.
I'd have to look into it.
The Christmas films.
Yeah. So, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Christmas Evil. That's 4. We've already gone up to 4, Jack. Now the scenario B is we watch something and it'll have like space in it and aliens and I'll go, oh, what's you that, Jack? And you go, I loved it, I bummed it, 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, 5 out of 5. Okay. Any reason? Oh, it's just good. Thanks, Jack. So I'm expecting that from this. So
just as a counterpoint to your argument there, Liam.
Yeah.
I'd say that the 2 scenarios are either we both like the film, we both don't like the film, / whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
And then it's probably 50-50 on if one of us doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Because just looking at our list, there are such things as Cowboy Bebop. Nameless is one that I distinctly remember you not liking.
What was Nameless?
That was the graphic novel that I suggested. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, I tried to raise that one.
Yeah, so that's just maybe, Liam. Maybe bear in mind that both of us tend to not like stuff.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, okay, so when Liam doesn't like something, to be fair, we just get a lot of moaning and whinging. To be fair, even when I do like something, there's a lot of moaning and whinging.
Are you accusing me of moaning and whinging?
No, me.
Okay, yeah. We both moan and whinge.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I'm not saying I don't. I just wanted to clarify that we both do that.
Yeah, I think the key difference between us, and maybe this is what people like, maybe it's not, is that I can still moan and whinge over something that I like.
That's true, yeah. There have been ones that you've given a high rating, and then, like, after having this long complaint, and then suddenly you'll go, 4 out of 5. I'm like, what?
Horizon Zero Dawn I did quite a lot of whinging about, but still 4 out of 5.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You're very discerning in your taste, Liam.
Yeah, I know what I like, and especially what I don't like.
Yeah.
So, listeners, if you have read Saga Volume 1, or if you have recommendations for us to read, watch, experience something on a future episode,
yep,
why not get in touch?
You can get in touch with us by tweeting us at NerdOnNerd, or you can email us at nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com. You can go to our Facebook, which is facebook.com/nerdonnerd pod
yeah.
with dashes.
No dashes, just
nerdonnerdpod.
Yeah.
/nerdonnerdpod. Where else can they get in contact with us, Liam?
YouTube.
Yep, you can comment on videos.
Yep.
That's a thing that people do.
Mark did it.
You can also comment on our SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Which is SoundCloud/nerd.
We don't have a title for that. It's not necessary.
Cool.
You can rate us on iTunes.
Yeah, you can. Just full high marks, please.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, Jack?
Thank goodness for egg salad.
Bye.